we also got 3 tweets about that, and I'd like to read them because they were all related to this topic. So I'm going to read them all 3 at once, since responding to them is about, they are very similar. So Phil Kane tweeted back to me, what kind of business results are you seeing from social media? Becky Quash asked, how are you measuring results from your social media efforts? And Mo Serhan asked, how do you measure brand engagement and ROI on your social media efforts? Would like to give it a shot.
Again, it might be different. Everyone has a different experience of what they need ROI to do. In our case, it's been an enabler. So social media has. So what people love to do in the fashion space, particularly when you get a great deal, is talk about it. And certainly, for those of you who are Winners shoppers in the room, and I know there's 1 or 2 of you, you love to talk about your great deal that you got at the water cooler to your friend or your neighbor or somebody in your family. And what social media has allowed us to do is to turn that into a viral experience. So rather than you talking to 1 or 2 friends, you're now talking to 367,000 of them. So for us, it's become an extension of our marketing department. So I can't measure that conversation to say that it's necessarily makes the cash register ring, but it does get people interested in going. In the same way as it's as difficult in some cases to measure a newspaper ad or a magazine ad, but it's getting people talking about my brand in a very intimate way. And we've talked about the power of social media in the sense that people trust what other people say online. So somebody tells you they got a great pair of Prada shoes for whatever. Did I mention that brand? Then it has a ripple effect on those people going, holy snappers, they carried that brand at Winners. And I wasn't able to initiate that conversation. It came from a customer. It has so much more power. So it's like PR in that case. So we found it, although I'm not necessarily sure I answered the question about measurement, it certainly has enabled our marketing department. It's turned us into a much larger department.
Well, what Leslie's touched on there, and again, it's not really about ROI, but ultimately everything is, the power, the control has actually shifted from the marketer over to the customer.
Yes.
So not only can the customer say nice things about the Winners brand, they can actually say bad things about the Winners brand. So how as a marketer, are you going to control the detractors that are out there? That's I think one of the scariest things from a marketing point of view is I'm relinquishing control of my brand over to the public. I can still influence them, but they're the ones who are in control of the message.
Right, Philippe, you want to build up on this stuff?
I'm coming from a very different perspective. Just one thing which is important to know with appliances is you're in the market for appliances about 2 weeks every 5 years. And when you're not buying appliances and you're not in the market, you don't care. So I have a lot of pitch around social media, and I always joke that I don't believe in social media. I believe in digital, but I don't believe in social media. When we look at our business, social media is really a customer service channel. It's a different way for consumers to reach out to us. You have the call center. Now you want the immediacy. You have expectations, but actually, and Jean, client in the US, has shown the way. The Facebook page is managed by customer service, and they know they have a sensitivity to the consumer, but they understand what are the customer service processes, and they are managing it that way, and they take the conversation out. So I think we need to be very careful. And just one thing about our social media, I have a dream that one day 90% of our marketing effort should be ROI driven, and 10% should be risk taking. And otherwise, we'll never reach for the stars. And I think we need to keep a bit of that balance.
Yeah. So keeping the art in the marketing discipline and moving it to a science, but keeping the art as well, right?
On the 90%, you can bring the number because your boss needs that.
So we have some statistics that tell us that the clients are 10 times more likely to post good news than bad news. And what happens, in fact, is when somebody starts blogging or tweeting about bad news, it took them more than one problem with the brand before they decide to go and engage this way, or they really need to be extremely upset. So what matters is having the right listening at that moment and catch this moment of dissatisfaction, thank you, Leslie, so that you can react positively and surprise positively the person complaining and stop what might become a very negative way.